Cal? Kelly?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. What happened? I can't see you on the big screen.
You can't?
I just see you down. Let me just refresh mine.
Yeah, because you sound like a robot.
Okay. We're good.
I can't see you on the big screen, actually.
Okay, refresh yours because it just said.
Now I see you.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Let me join my hotspot so I don't lose service.
Okay. Uh-oh.
What?
Is that you dinging or is it me?
Well, I just did ding.
Okay. I'm going to turn my thing off. Okay, well, let's get started. It is 8:30. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we do this every single Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Time. So you can just put this as a regular appointment on your Mary Kay calendar, and so that you can check in with us on Hump Day in the middle of the week to get a little dose of education and inspiration and fun and ideas and have your mind expanded a little bit. And we always strive to make sure that the information that we are passing on to you is timely and something that you can put into practice right away for the rest of the week in your Mary Kay business. So tonight will be no exception, but I just want to give you one announcement before we jump into our training tonight, and that is that we do have a live marketing call immediately following this Google Hangout with Kathy Halou, our National Sales Director. So that call starts at 9:30 Eastern Time, and the phone number is in your email, and if you need it, you can text your sales director or your recruiter. But it's a great chance for you to have prospects that are thinking about a business with Mary Kay actually hear the fast facts about the business from Kathy and hear her iStory, which the company always jokes and says her iStory takes the prize because she won her Mary Kay on the Price is Right game show as a prize, a consolation prize in 1979, I think. It was a long time ago. And so anyway, it's a great story and very inspirational, and women always love to hear it. So it's a really, really good chance for you to get your prospects connected to Kathy and hear about the business opportunities. So just wanted to draw your attention to that. And I'm Jordan Eicher, by the way. And there were so many of you who are new, at least for my unit, I know. And we're really, really happy to have you. And I am so excited to share this hangout tonight with one of the best trainers in all of Mary Kay, my beautiful Offspring Sales Director, Kelly Brock. And she is going to kick us off tonight in talking a little bit about balance, how to find that sweet spot, that elusive balance in your life between work, your family, your real job, your Mary Kay business, and really we're going to kind of dig into, is that even possible? Is balance something that we should even be striving for? And if so, how do we get there? And if not, what else is there? Because it seems like the whole world is talking about balance. So Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so you guys, I've talked to several consultants lately about time management and just honestly, this being my first full year as a new mom. And I had my best year ever in my personal business and not only in our unit. And I had more on my plate than ever before. And I honestly felt out of balance all year long. I was just thinking, I'm doing my best, right? I'm doing my best. But I was talking to consultants about this, and I was recommended this book. And I want to recommend it to you. It's called The One Thing. And pretty much what this book is talking about is it's talking about how to focus on the important things, right? So a lot of times I'll talk to consultants and they'll tell me all the things they did with their day. Well, I organized my, customer profile cards, and I put my inventory away and I labeled them, and, I rewrote my contact list. And they do all of these things, and then they think about Mary Kay all day, or they made a cute flyer on Pic Collage, and they do all these things that are good things, but they're not great things. And so that's one area of where are you spending your time. And so this book was talking more about if you just did the one thing, the one thing that would actually move you closer to your goal every day, instead of all these other things that do take your time and make you feel busy, what could happen in your business and in your life? Well, one of the chapters that it talked about was the facade of balance, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing is ever going to have balance, okay? No matter how it appears, everything is out of balance, okay? So it's just working to appear like it's in balance. And the balanced life is a lie. Someone who you go, oh my gosh, she's, got her work and her career and she's at church and she's doing everything flawlessly. I promise she's not. Actually, one of my friends the other day, Jordan, is friends with her on Facebook too. Her name's Kristen. And she's someone who looks like she is just balanced, so happy and joyful and all these things. She posted a picture of her daughter crawling out of their dog's kennel, banging her head. And she was talking about, I was just cleaning up my dishes from breakfast that morning, and it's 9 p.m. at night. And I was thinking, oh, thank the Lord, she's not perfect like I thought she was. We hear, about this, and we automatically assume that balance is something that we should be seeking, and it's not. I'm going to tell you what you should actually be seeking in your life, okay? You should be seeking purpose and meaning and significance. These are the things that make your life feel successful. And when you seek them out, you will for sure live a life that you're in and out of balance. You're crisscrossing this like invisible line when you're trying to pursue your priorities. And the active life is a full life. By giving time to things that matter, you're gonna have a balancing act. And one of the things that I love about our company is it's God first, family second, career third. Now, that does not mean family first, family second, family third, no career. You won't get yourself anywhere, right? And I promise if you do career first, and don't make time for your family, they're not going to be there when you get done working, right? And if you do anything without God present, you're going to feel really emotionally deprived. And so we are a company that supports having God first, family second, career third. But you have to have all three pieces of the puzzle in order to move forward. And Jordan's going to talk a little bit more about how you actually fit that in your real life. Like, what does that look like? How do you make some non-negotiable? So when I was reading this book, I wrote a couple notes I wanted to make sure I wrote. So if you think about balance as the middle, okay? So here, yay, I'm balanced. I feel good. I'm right in the center of my life. And if you get too far away from the middle, then you're living at the extreme. So maybe working towards a big goal in Mary Kay or things like that. The problem with living in the middle, you guys, is it prevents you from making extraordinary gains or extraordinary investments of time or commitments in any area, right? If in your effort, you're trying to attend all things, all of the kids' baseball games, and then you're trying to get to your meetings, but you're too late because you were trying to cook dinner before you got home, or like doing all these things and you're scattering yourself, you're probably doing everything about 50%. You're never doing anything excellent. And that can be a really tough place to be in when you feel like you're so spread thin, you're not excelling anywhere. So unfortunately, you can't live in the middle. I've talked about this before, about the pendulum. So if you imagine those little pendulum balls that like knock each other. So when you're thinking about life or growth or achievement, you think about your pendulum. You have to be willing to make some sort of risk and take yourself out to the side and risk failure and judgment and nervousness and all those things so that it can swing back to the other side of an equal proportion to success and achievement and victory and happiness and all of those things. The reason we shouldn't pursue balance is that magic never happens in the middle. Magic happens at those extremes. But let me be clear, time does not wait for anyone. So you can't live so far on an extreme, meaning I'm going to give my whole life to my kids, right now. And then all of a sudden you blink and they graduate college and you look around and you go, I've had nothing for myself. I thought I was going to do this Mary Kay business the whole time, but I just made them my sole priority. And again, you can't go so far to the extreme of your career that you turn around and go, I just missed the last 5 years of my child's life. and I'll never get those memories back. That's where those extremes, time doesn't wait for anybody. And so postponement can be permanent. So what this book was saying, which I thought was brilliant. I wrote this in a note. I want to make sure I say this. Okay. So when things that matter the most get done, you're still every single day going to have things left undone. So for example, today, I literally have a book of things that I need to do, people I need to respond to, things I need to do. But I knew that I needed bookings, because what is the most important thing to my business? It was bookings. So if I was going to spend 2 hours of time on my business, I couldn't worry about the little things like organizing my office. I couldn't worry about things like putting my inventory away. I needed to sit down and book, because those are the things that needed to get done. Well, guess what? My list, Jordan can tell you the same. There's not one day in my Mary Kay business that I've ever gone to sleep with a full checked off list, because there's always more to do, always more to become. There's always more people to get to know and grow your business. So leaving some things undone is a necessary trade-off, you guys, for making extraordinary results. So understand, when you're pushing for that big goal, you're gonna have things that are like, I'm falling apart. I'll never forget Anna going through DIQ. I mean, her being like, I don't know what my kids are eating tonight. Like, my husband's getting him food and it might be pizza this month, and that's okay, because she was working towards that goal. Well, guess where she is right now? She's back into her swing. She's swung back in and she's having vacation with her family. So what this book was talking about, and actually I wanted to show you the little picture. So it shows that you really want to focus on counterbalancing. Okay, do you see that little picture? So life is right in the center. Your priorities, they have to maintain a priority. You can only ebb and flow so far with your health and your integrity and your faith and your family. Okay, so that's the red. But look at the black. That's work. Work can go in and out, in and out. You can have those bigger extremes out to the side, but you have to come back through, because work is something, and I wanted to read you this little part. I said, imagine life is a game in which you're juggling 5 balls. The balls are called work, family, health, friends, and integrity. And you're keeping all of them in the air, but one day you finally come to understand that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce right back. But the other 4 balls, family, health, friends, integrity, they are made of glass. If you drop one of these, it will be irrevocably scuffed, nicked, and perhaps even shattered. So the question of balance is really a question of priority. When you are changing your language from balancing to prioritizing and finding harmony, you see your choices more clearly and open the door to changing your destiny. When you act on your priority, you'll automatically go out of balance. Let me say that again. When you act on your priorities, you are automatically going to go out of balance, giving more time to one thing over another. The challenge then doesn't become one of going out of balance, for in fact, you must go out of balance. The challenge becomes how long to stay on that priority. And so it was just a really great thought. And like I said, Jordan's going to walk you through, but you have to learn how to maintain those 4 important balls, those 4 important pieces of your health, your wellness, your family, your friends, your integrity. But you can get nowhere without going out of balance. There are going to be things, you guys, if you came to my house some days, you'd be like, so that's what a Cadillac director looks like? Like she's like, her house isn't clean and it's okay. But some days it is clean and it's perfect and it's tidy and I'd love to have you over for coffee. And those are the days I'm back in balance in my home. But it's not every day. You cannot do all things at all times and do them all exceptionally well. So I want to pass it on over to Jordan. She's going to tell you a little bit more about how you can maintain that harmony and prioritizing while still excelling in your Mary Kay business.
Okay, this is, you know what, you guys, you can't script this kind of stuff. So Kelly's talking, my baby is screaming bloody murder from the other room, and talk about work-life balance. Sometimes you just have to hold your baby and do your business. All right, so sometimes you gotta hold your baby and do your business. I have actually held baby on the toilet and done my business too, so there's that. So
amen.
Anyway, this is London. If I knew she was gonna be on the hangout, oh, she's waving, I would have put her in cuter pajamas. Hi. Okay. Anyway, so here's the thing, you guys. We all have 24 hours in a day. Oprah Winfrey has 24 hours in the day. Barack Obama, the president of the United States, has 24 hours in the day. Kathy Halou has 24 hours in the day, and you have 24 hours in your day. So we can't say, I don't have time to fit my Mary Kay business in. That is no longer an acceptable sentence. You cannot say you don't have time, because there are people accomplishing world-changing things that have exactly the same number of hours in the day that you have. And so you have been given the gift of time, and Kelly's right, it marches on tick-tock, 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 tick-tock every day. And so here's the thing. You don't have control over how much time that you actually have. It just is. You have 24 hours. What you have control over are the choices that you make in your priority system and how you spend those 24 hours. So all I can tell you is my personal experience with managing my time in order to find harmony, in order to get a lot done in a short amount of time as I swing my pendulum out here like Kelly was talking about, and then how I rein it back in to have a life in the middle where I can enjoy my family, where I can worship, where I can sleep enough to have good physical and mental and emotional health to be prepared for my next swing out to do some insane amount of activity in a short amount of time, and really keep a successful work life and a successful home life and what I consider a vibrant and abiding in Christ spiritual life. And so here's the thing. I wrote down some notes too. When I was becoming a sales director, you know, I didn't just happen across the time it took to become a director. I had to make that time fit into my schedule, and I was a very busy person, and I know that you are a very busy person too. So let me just say this. There's 3 categories that help me in order to decide, when I look at everything I have to do, who's doing it, and is it something absolutely that demands me, as in Jordan Eicher. No one else in the whole world can do this. So there's 3 categories. There's things that you have to do. That's called do it. And only you can do it. There's nobody else in the world that can do it. Like date night with your husband. You are the only one who should be doing it, who is doing it. So date night, that's doing it. That's you. Bookings, that's you, because it's you connecting with people. Only you can do that. Holding your parties, you. Only you can do that. Going to your 40-hour-a-week job, you. You can't send your nanny to go to the 40-hour-a-week job. So those are the things in the category called do it. Things that only can be and should be done by you. And honestly, I put other things in there that bring me joy. Things that I just love to do. Like I'm one of those people, I really do love to sit and not just cook breakfast, but eat breakfast with my family. That's something I would hate to miss out on in a day, because I love it so much. It's my favorite meal of the day. I could eat it 3 times a day. And it's my chance to like set my day off on the right foot, is to sit down, talk about the day with my husband, enjoy my children, make sure they get off to the day a good start nutritionally, and get the first fruits of me as their mom. So also that's when I caffeinate. So let's just be real about that. So I can't talk to anybody till I caffeinate. So anyway, so, you know, do it is things that only belong to you. The next category is also starts with D. It's delegate it. It's things that have to absolutely get done, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you that does it. So for example, even when I couldn't really totally afford it, like I was living in a 1,500 square foot home where I could literally reach my arms out to the side, both directions out of my windows in the living room and the kitchen, and touch the neighbors' houses on the other side. Like this is not a glamorous house, but I hired a housekeeper. I hired a cleaning service because that was something that I could delegate. It was something that had to get done, but I didn't necessarily have to be the one to do it. And I just knew that basically I could hold one extra selling appointment with 2 to 3 women every single 2 weeks. I only needed the service every 2 weeks. I could hold one extra selling appointment in order to pay for those housekeepers. And it got something off my plate. That's called delegated. So, you know, meal prep is something that one of your awesome friends who's into health and wellness, who is starting a service to help people, or hosting the girls' night out to help people with crock pot meals, someone who just loves doing that kind of thing, even if she did it for you for 2 weeks, to take something off your plate while you're making a big investment in your business to move yourself forward is valuable. And that's called delegate. So, you know, even when you have a very small customer base, you can hire a teenager to, you know, sort your profile cards for you and put them into InTouch for for you and do all the office organization stuff and pay them in free products, or pay them, you know, what an average minimum wage job that they would be taking tickets to the movie theater would pay them. And don't pay them out of your home profits, pay them out of your Mary Kay profits. So if you don't have enough to pay them, sell more, period. Mary Kay always said, if you don't have enough to pay your bills, but you have product on your shelf, or you have a lookbook in your pocket, you can't say you have no way to make money, because there are so many people out there who love and use our products. And everyone with skin is your potential customer. Everyone with skin is your potential customer. You can't say that about so many other businesses. So do it. Things that can only be done by you or bring you joy and you won't let them go. Delegate it. Things that have to get done but somebody else could actually do. And dump it. Dump it off your plate. Dump it off for a season. Things that, you know what, are just taking up your time that you don't even like. Things that you overcommitted to. Things that you got guilt tripped into doing. Things that someone else is expecting of you but you don't really love and doesn't make you a better person and isn't fitting in with your dreams and your goals and what's in alignment for Mary Kay right now. Dump it off for a season. You don't have to dump it forever, but dump it off right now so that you can put Mary Kay on your plate, because you have big dreams, you have big goals, and God gave you this as the vehicle in order to see those come true. So you know what? I always say this, you know, we say God first, family second, and career third. That's your real job, unless it's, you know, unless your career right now is your Mary Kay business. It can come third. It just can't come 33rd in your life and in your busyness and in your schedule, because you'll never get anywhere. That's what we were just talking. That's what Kelly was just saying. You'll never get anywhere if you don't put it high on the priority list in some capacity. So take some things off of your plate right now in order to fit this in. That's one of the first questions when I sit down with a new beauty consultant, and maybe you're a new consultant in one of our units who this is your first hangout or your second or your third hangout. And this is what I'll ask you. You know, basically a Mary Kay skincare class, a party, you know, around the kitchen table, a gathering of women, whatever you want to call it, a debut, whatever you want to call a Mary Kay party, it takes about 3 hours. That's how long it takes with your travel time and going and holding a party and closing up and getting back home. It takes about 3 hours. So you know what? If I asked you, how, you know, if you know a party takes 3 hours, and you know how much time you're willing to invest in your Mary Kay business every single week, let's say you're willing to invest 10 hours. Well, then I would say in those 10 hours, the number one most valuable thing you can do with those 10 hours is to hold 3 parties. You just divide the number of hours you're willing to work by 3, and that's the number of parties that if I were you and I was in your position and I wanted to move forward, but time was a struggle and I didn't want to feel like I was spinning my wheels without getting results, because that's where frustration sets in. Frustration with, am I out of balance, comes when you feel like you're working a lot, but not seeing results. And so the best way to get results is to have parties. It's to have women around a kitchen table. It's to not just have women around a table, but have 5 to 6. That Mary Kay always said 6 was the magic number for a party. And somewhere along the way, we watered it down, or we started saying that 3 was a party. No, 3 is not a party. 5 to 6 women. 5 women plus a hostess. That's a party, according to Mary Kay Ash, the founder of this company. So you know what? Do it, delegate it, or dump it, because dumping things right now, dump The Bachelor, dump Grey's Anatomy, dump time wasters like TV or Facebook checking in the middle of the day, or Pinterest, or, you know, I don't even know what else to recommend you dump, but you know what it is. I think you already know. You've already been thinking, if I could just get this off my plate, I could fit my Mary Kay in. So just try to figure out those 3 categories. Make a list of all the things that you have going on in your life, and then make sure your family knows at the beginning of each week when you're going to work your Mary Kay business. Another way to keep balance, and I always, you know, if you're in my unit, you know this. I know my Offspring sales directors know this, but pick a cutoff point at the end of each day where you turn off your phone to Mary Kay. Turn off your Voxer, turn off your text, turn off your Facebook messaging, turn off, okay, don't really turn it off, but I just literally had to, when my unit started growing really big and I started getting some notoriety in Mary Kay, not just with my own unit members, but with the whole Mary Kay world, there were consultants and directors and nationals and so many people outside my own unit that were constantly messaging me for advice or just to pray for them or to, you know, talk to me about my ideas or ask me a follow-up question to a conference call they heard me speak on or whatever. And honestly, talking with people about things I'm passionate about gets me wired. It gets me all excited. It gets my blood pressure up. It gets my energy up. And I wasn't able to go to sleep. I'd be up till 1 and 2 in the morning laying in bed talking to people and thinking about people and trying to think how I can help someone. And I finally had to just turn it off because my husband was getting ticked off. I was dead tired in the mornings. I was struggling to wake up, and I was off my harmony. I was off balance. I was definitely not the right swinging of the pendulum. So I started a cutoff of 9 p.m. where I don't answer a text. I don't pick up a call. I don't message someone back after 9 p.m. for any reason. No reason at all if it has to do with Mary Kay. And you know what? It is so hard. Hear me when I say it is so hard. It is not easy, but it has become so important because then my family, even my extended family, my sister-in-law, and my own sister who lives in Tennessee, people know after 9 they can have me and they can have all of me and I can be fully present and we can have fun. And you know what? It's made a huge difference. So I started doing it before 9 as well, unless there's special circumstances. The other thing I did was I set a day of Sabbath, a day of rest. Hey, if it's good enough for the God of the Bible, He created the world in 6 days, and the 7th day He rested. It's good enough for me. So I don't do any Mary Kay at all on Sundays. Now, I picked Sundays just because that was a traditional day where I was resting and worshiping anyway. It was a Sabbath for me anyway. But you could pick a Thursday if that's your day to rest. You could pick Fun Friday. That's what National Sales Director Sue Ubel does. She picks Fun Friday, and she rests and doesn't do Mary Kay on Friday. So she spends it with her family. She uses it for refueling herself and her emotional and spiritual health. And, you know, that's something else I recommend is to just pick one day where you take time just for rest, for relaxation, for refueling, re-energizing yourself and taking care of yourself. So you all know we've talked about many times over the past month about eating healthy, about exercising, and all those things play into work-life balance. The last thing I want to give you is a couple of tools that we have in Mary Kay that you can use if you've not used them or heard of them before, that really help you get your schedule in line so you can feel like you have some sanity and not feel like frustrated where you're working, or thinking Mary Kay 24/7, but not seeing a lot of results. So the first is the 6 most important things list. This is a tool created by a really famous entrepreneur, and I can't remember his name right now, but Mary Kay Ash got it from a CEO of a major company. And it's a 6 most important things list where basically, London, okay, sorry. Where basically, at the end of each day, you keep a little notepad by your bed with 6 lines on it. And what you do is you write down the 6 most important things you have to do for the following day on the list in order of importance. So the very most prominent thing you need to do goes at the top. And then the thing that if it doesn't really totally get done, it's not that big of a deal, but I should do it tomorrow, goes at number 6 spot. The magic number is 6, just like the number of parties, for a reason. Supposedly your brain cannot complete more than 6 tasks at a time. So 6 is the magic number. Don't put 10, don't put 12. This is not, you're not an overachiever. If you do that, you're sabotaging yourself. So only 6. And they have to be prioritized and ranked in order of importance. And then it gets it out of your brain so you don't, London says, totally, girl. Yeah, girl, you need to do that, girl. And so what you're going to do, what that does is it takes it out of your brain so you're not stressed and you can sleep peacefully because everything you need to do is there for tomorrow. And when you wake up, you don't procrastinate. You go straight at it. You go straight for the hardest one first. You go straight for number 1. And when it's finished, you mark it off and then you move on to number 2. And I always recommend work 2 parts of a 3-part day. So get the first 3 things on your list done before your mid-morning break or before lunch or before your kids' naps or before your break, your lunch break at work or whatever. Get 3 things done in the morning and then get 3 things done either in the late night after your kids go to sleep or in that mid-section of the day in the afternoon. And you can take the 3rd part of that 3-part day and use it for the other areas of your life where you want to invest. Relationships, friends, go out for drinks with the girls, go to tennis group, do something outside of your Mary Kay business for the 3rd part of the 3-part day because you've accomplished your 6 most important list and you worked 2 parts of the 3-part day and you've gotten done the best things that you needed to do to move yourself forward and you still had a life that day and you slept, which is super important too, just for your physical health. So 6 most important lists. And the next one is the weekly plan sheet. And that's downloadable on Mary Kay in Touch. The instructions for how to fill it out are there. But that's the one that every Sunday needs to go up on your calendar as on your refrigerator, so your family knows your calendar. And they can know when to expect that you're going to work. Now just remember one thing about your weekly plan sheet. It's an ideal schedule.
So treat it like that. You're never going to hit it exactly right every week. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not, but the point is it's ideal, it's your goal, it's your perfect schedule. If everything in life lined up and all the lights were green, this is what you would do in order to move yourself towards your goals. Just know you're not always going to hit it, but it's something to shoot for. And when you do hit it those weeks, oh my gosh, girl, you will feel so on fire. You'll feel so accomplished. You'll feel so excited. And what will happen is you'll say, you know what, I believe I can do this again. And then you'll start to get a groove, and you will start to make big strides towards your big dreams and your goals. So I hope that was helpful for you. And thank you for hanging out with us. It's 9 o'clock. Don't forget about Kathy's call in 30 minutes. And we'll be back and do another hangout with you next Wednesday. Okay? God bless you guys. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Say bye-bye, bud. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.